So we've got here seed balls inspired by fukuoka as a way to get seeds established in areas without tilling. So these seed balls, they have all the components a seed needs for good growth. So they've got seeds, of course, they've got compost, and they have a clay component, and that clay helps hold them together until the rains come, which will start to dissolve and start the germination process of the seeds. These are quite large. These are more what I would call seed bombs. You can really lob them into your local military reserve or stray.
To try and get flowers to pop up?
Get flowers popping up over the serpentine wire, or in that odd vacant lot in an urban setting, and you want things to start getting established there. Generally, I prefer to make seed balls in this kind of size. And of course it depends on what type of seeds you're actually trying to get germinating. I've used this primarily with cover crops, but I have tried it with grains to see how we get going, and about this size or slightly bigger seem to work pretty good. These are the seeds I'm going to use. This is a mixture of oats, rye, and crimson clover. So you can put together different seeds. You want to just make sure that you have seeds that germinate roughly about the same time period and roughly about the same size. I've tried like the Three Sisters seed group, you know, corns, beans, squash. They're big seeds and they kind of germinate at different rates, and they didn't work so good. So I wouldn't really try those particular ones together. But something like this that has similar size, similar germination, seems to work pretty good. So, and then in here I have a mixture. This is dry mixture of compost and clay. So essentially you want to have about 1/3 compost, 1/3 clay, and 1/3 seeds. So I will take approximately 2 parts of this to 1 part of that, and we will make our mixture. So that's about a half full cup. I'm going to dump that in there, and we're going to put about a full cup of the pre-mixed seed ball mixture. And what I've done, when you're doing a lot of these, I use a tarp type method. So I have a big tarp laid out at least 4 feet by 4 feet, and I'll take my mixture and put it in there like that, and then using a like a backpack sprayer or a very fine mist on a hose, you can start spraying water on that, and then rolling the tarp back and forth and back and forth, and a little water and a little bit of the dry mix, and a little water and a little dry mix, and little by little they build up into like this size seed balls. And you lay those out on a tray in the sun to dry, and they harden up like that, and give the seeds everything they need to germinate. Because we're doing this on a small scale, I'm just using this little tray. I'm going to probably end up hand forming these. We can see if we get any balls just by doing this. There, see, starting to ball up. Just add little bits of water at a time. This is kind of mimicking what would happen in the tarp. And you can see it's starting to ball up. It's getting a little bit, it's a little bit wet, so you could then do this and sprinkle a little bit of dry on there. They're starting to ball up, and there's some seeds that are still not incorporated, and there's some material that's not really balling up. So you can loosen that and hope that it balls up. I'm going to add a little bit more moisture. Oh, that might have been too much. And this can be done on a quite large scale using a cement mixer. And the same thing, you start with your dry mix, add a little bit of water, add a little bit of your dry powder, a little bit of water, a little bit of dry powder, and it little by little builds up like a snowball would rolling down a hill. And then once you get a certain number of these, you may want to just take these out and let them dry out over there, and then continue to work with what's left. And when it's in the cement, if you're using a cement mixer, it's turning and the balls drop, and you can go in there with like a sieve or a piece of screen and catch those balls that are dropping, take them out, put them on somewhere to dry, and allow the rest to continue mixing. That works pretty good for a small batch. Put some of those out. Now some of this, it looks glued to the bottom. You can just go ahead and grab it, ball it up, make some serious seed balls. That one's big. I'm going to divide it. So you can make up custom sized seed balls for launching with a slingshot or rocket launcher, or however you see fit. This is a really fun thing to do with a bunch of kids. They love getting their hands in the goop and playing with all the seeds and the different shapes and colors. And then you can go out and find yourself a vacant lot and go to town. Look at that. All right. So I didn't mention, you can use any kind of clay. This happened to be just some old pottery clay I had left over. That was a big dried out chunk, and I just ground it up, pounded it, ran it through a sieve, so I had nice particle size that matched with my compost size, and works in just fine. Or you can go find a natural clay deposit in the side of a riverbank or something like that. Just scoop out the best looking material and use that. Ta-da! It'll join the rest of them. And I've done flour mixes, grains, cover crops, nitrogen fixing, clovers and peas and vetch and that kind of thing. Kind of just want to bear in mind the size and the germination rate of the seeds you mix together. That's all there's to it.
If you like this sort of thing, come on out to the forums at permies.com, where we talk about no-till techniques, homesteading, and permaculture all the time.